Good morning, children. Once again, welcome back to the online classroom of English. I am your Vichita Miss. How are you? Hope all of you are safe and healthy in your home, right? And what about your studies? Are you learning from home? Are you doing all the works at proper time? Yes, very good. My dear children, let me ask you some questions. Have you ever climbed a tree? Have you ever climbed a tree? Yes or no? Yes. Yeah, that's nice. Do you love to do it? Did you enjoy it? Climbing a tree? Yes. What's the reason? Yeah, because we can see so many things while climbing, and when we reach on the top of the tree, we can see many sides. We can see many things, right? Yeah. What can you see? What do you see while reaching on the top of the tree? Can you tell me some? Yeah, we can see the rooftops, some birds, we can see squirrels, ants, honeycombs, etc. Right? Yeah. Now, we can see some pictures of what can you see from the top of a tree. So, let us see. Shall we? Yeah. We can find bees and their honeycombs. We can also find ants living on trees. We can see birds such as crows and woodpeckers and their nests. We can also see small animals such as squirrels and even monkeys. We can find insects such as beetles and dragonflies. We can see houses, fields and farms, rooftops, etc. from the top of a tree. We can also see birds flying in the sky. My dear children, I hope all of you observed the pictures carefully. Now, we are going to listen to a poem written by David McCord, who was an American poet. The name of the poem is Every Time I Climb a Tree. What's the name of the poem? Every Time I Climb a Tree. This is a happy poem. As I told you before, this poem was written by David McCord. He wrote many poems for children. He wrote many enjoyable poems for children. And this poem, that every time I climb a tree, is a happy poem. It describes how a little child feels when he climbs a tree. What happens to him while climbing a tree, and what he sees while climbing a tree, and what he notices on the top of the tree. So let us start. Take page number 37. Every time I climb a tree. Every time I climb a tree. Every time I climb a tree. I scrape a leg, a skin, a knee. And every time I climb a tree. I find some ants or dodge a bee and get the ants all over me. And every time I climb a tree, where have you been? They say to me. But don't they know that I am free every time I climb a tree? I like it best to spot a nest that has an egg or maybe three. And then I skin the other leg. But every time I climb a tree, I see a lot of things to see. Swallows, rooftops, and TV, and all the fields and farms there be. Every time I climb a tree, though climbing may be good for ants, it isn't awfully good for pants. But still, it's pretty good for me every time I climb a tree. David McCord. Here, every time I climb a tree is repeated so many times. It implies the child is climbing the tree so many times. So, every time I climb a tree is repeated. The child is very happy and he enjoys climbing a tree. While climbing a tree, he scrapes his leg or skin a knee. What does it mean? Scrape. Scrape means get hurt. Scratch his leg. A small wound. So, he scratched his leg and skin his knee. His knees also get hurt while climbing on a tree. And every time I climb a tree, I find some ants. The child finds some ants while climbing the tree. And he has to dodge a bee. What's the meaning of dodge? Dodge means move aside quickly to avoid something. The child has to move in a way to escape from the attack of the bee. What is bee? You heard this, honey bee. That's the bee. And gets the ants all over him. Ants are getting all over him. And every time I climb a tree, where have you been? They say to me. But don't they know that I am free every time I climb a tree? The boy says, his elders are asking why I'm climbing a tree. They don't know the reason. But he says that he feels very happy. He feels free while climbing a tree. I like it best to spot a nest that has an egg or maybe three. So while climbing a tree, he finds a nest and that nest has an egg. Sometimes there may be 3 eggs and he feels so happy to see it. And then I skin the other leg. But every time I climb a tree, I see a lot of things to see. The poet or the child again hurt his leg, but he never minds it because he enjoys climbing the tree and he can see lots of things at the top of the tree. And what are they? Swallows. Swallows means a kind of bird. So many swallows are flying. And rooftops. Rooftop means the top of the house. The rooftop of the house. And TV. While at the top of the tree, he can see swallows, rooftops, TV, and all the fields and farms. He can see swallows, rooftops, TV, fields, and farms. Every time I climb a tree, though climbing may be good for ants, it isn't awfully good for pants. He says, every time when I climb a tree, what happens? His pants are getting torn. His pants are torn. It may be good for ants, but it is not at all good for his pants. Even though he loves climbing tree, but still it's pretty good for me. Even though it's an enjoyable thing for me. What is that enjoyable thing? Yes, climbing a tree. Even though it is not good for his pants, the boy loves climbing a tree. Then only he will be able to see all the things, such as, what are they? Ants, bees, nest, eggs, swallows, rooftops, TV, fields, farms, etc. The boy is very happy. Dear children, so today we learned a beautiful poem. What's the name of the poem? Yeah, every time I climb a tree. Who is the poet? Can you name the name of the poet? Yeah, David McCord. He was an American poet. And what does the poem say? Here we can see a little child. Is the child happy? Yeah, he is very happy. And what is he doing? Yeah, he is climbing a tree. And one line is repeated in this poem. Can you find out that line? Yeah, very good. What's that line? Every time I climb a tree. Every time I climb a tree. Why the poet used this line repeatedly? What's the reason? Yeah, because the child is climbing the tree every time. Most often, the child is climbing the tree. The child loves to climb a tree, like you. Even if the child is climbing the tree, he has to face so many troubles. What are they? Yeah, he scrape his knee. Now he scrape his legs and skin his knee. And dot some bees and ants all over his body. Right? And his elders are asking, why you are climbing tree? Why can't you study? Why are you climbing every time? But the child says that they don't know the reason, because I love climbing the tree. The child says that he feels free while climbing a tree. He says he is happy to spot or see a nest, and he can find an egg, maybe 3 eggs. He is happy to see nest, and that has 1 or 3 eggs in it. Then he reached at the top of the tree. He was able to see swallows. Swallows means birds. some kinds of birds and rooftops, top of the house, fields, farms and TV, etc. while reaching on the top of the tree. The boy enjoys everything, even if his leg hurts, even if ants got all over the body, even if he has to escape from the bees. He loves to climb on the tree and enjoy every sight. That's all about the poem. So my dear children, I will give you one task. We have already studied rhyming words. Yes or no? Yeah. So in this poem, there are some rhyming words. You have to find out and underline each and every rhyming words. And read the poem at least 5 times. Okay, that's all for today. We shall discuss it more next day. Thank you. Have a nice day.